Thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Center YouTube channel, where on this channel, we believe in providing you unbiased advice that will help you maximize all of your retirement income. Now, on our channel, of course, we do not believe in providing you any silver bullet strategies or glorifying any type of one product. But what we do believe in are holistic concepts that will help you retire with confidence. So today, Andrea, what we are going to be discussing is how do you actually calculate your retirement savings? You know, many of us, when we open up our statements, the only thing that we're concerned about is that one large number that jumps out at us, you know, and how to get to, maybe more of a larger number. You know, we see 500,000, we see a million, we see 2 million, 3 million. But for me, Andrea, as a financial advisor, that one single large number is not really the most important thing that you should be thinking about. What we think about is how do we take that large number and turn that into an income that you can never outlive throughout your retirement years. So that is what we're going to be talking about, because now many of my clients are seeing on their 401k statements, 403b statements, what they call a monthly income for life. And we're going to talk about what that means, and you should know about this. So definitely stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Concepts videos. These videos were created to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Yes, absolutely, Andrea, because with so many retirement strategies out there, so many retirement concepts, and of course with so many retirement products, it can become very difficult for consumers to digest it all. That is why we are so fortunate that we work with a team of expert advisors to help us formulate a roadmap that's going to let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. So Carson, when I'm looking at my retirement statement, it's pretty intimidating because I don't know what to actually look for. I don't know what to look for on gains or losses, or when I should be taking it or when I should not be taking it. So how do you get your clients to a perspective where they can understand it?
Well, Andrea, what I try to do for my clients is just, keep things simple. Because, if I wasn't a financial advisor, when I look at these statements, I know that they can be very confusing and intimidating for anyone. But as I mentioned, I try to keep my clients out the weeds. I want to make sure that they don't focus on 1 month statement and say, oh my gosh, what's going on here? But I make sure that they understand the entire plan, because that is when things can fail. You can't focus on the gyrations of any 1 month or even a quarter. You have to make sure that the client understands what the end game is, and that's really staying consistent within their plan. But there is a kink on their statement that could cause a topic of discussion, and that's looking at when a number on their statement, when it says you're going to receive, based off the amount that you have saved right now, $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month from this particular retirement savings. Mm-hmm. Well, that can be very deceiving, and so we're going to be talking about the ins and outs of that and how you should be thinking about that number or not thinking about that number. But before we get into that, there are 2 rules to retirement income that we like to give you. Andrew, what are those 2 rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money, and rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about, in our lesson today, how you really should be thinking about the calculation of your retirement income.
So Carson, first, what is this monthly figure that people should be seeing on their retirement statement from their company?
Yeah, this monthly figure, Andrew, is actually an estimate from the amount of dollars that they have saved in their 401k, maybe their 403b. And it's basically an indication or an estimate of if you actually took all of that money out and bought a life annuity. And so when you're looking at this particular illustration, Andrea, it's going to give you an amount that if you took it, put it into a life annuity, this is how much you will get paid per month. But you may also see on that statement, if you have a spouse, a smaller amount. Now that smaller amount is going to be an indication of if you decided to take a joint survivor spouse payment. Therefore, if you're taking that particular payment, Andrew, it'll pay you a fixed amount for the rest of your life. And if you pass away, that income would then go to your spouse and it would pay her for the rest of her life or his life. Now, with that being said, Andrew, like with any estimates, in this particular magnitude, you're going to really want to get some specified advice from an independent advisor to make sure that these numbers are going to be accurate and line up with your particular goals.
Well, Carson, I think that getting professional advice would be the best option for people, but what other concerns should they have?
Yes, Andrew, the other concern that people should have about this number on their statement is that the assumption about your contributions. Because what they're looking at when you get that statement and they're showing you that number, it can be very deceiving, and maybe in a bad way, because they are only taking a snapshot in time in which your contributions have been made up to that particular point. So if you're age 50, Andrew, and you plan to retire in another 15 or 20 years, that number and your contributions up to that time is not being factored in. So you may look at this number and say, man, I really do have a situation here and I may not be able to retire comfortably. But with that being not the case, if they were able to, calculate not only that number, but also what your future contributions may look like, which is what we do for our clients within their retirement plans. We don't just particularly focus on a snapshot in time. We take a look at what are your proposed contribution assumptions are going to be, and then we can give you an assumption that's more realistic as opposed to an assumption that's going to probably be inferior to what your capabilities might be when you're saving.
Well, Carson, you've also indicated that inflation is a problem with this calculation. Why is that?
Yeah, inflation is always a problem, right? With any calculation, and you have to account for it. But unfortunately, the number that you're seeing, that number that you're focusing on your statement, they're only calculating a number that's locked into that particular time, just like your contributions. So if it's telling you that you're going to receive, let's say, $1,000 per month when you look at your statement, they're assuming also when you, not only at age 57, you're going to get that number, but at age 67, that number is still going to be $1,000 a month. Well, we obviously know that inflation is going to bring down that purchasing power. Just 3% of inflation, Andrew, over a 20-year time frame can literally cut that $1,000 into half of its purchasing power. So we have to understand that this is a major issue and a major shortcoming of the number that you're looking at on your retirement statement. So you have to get a better perspective on that. Now, of course, when you compare this same type of concept with Social Security, Andrew, it's drastically different. Because with Social Security, you may see that you're going to receive $1,000 at 57, but they're also going to continue to increase that number due to inflation, because Social Security has an automatic cost of living adjustment that is always going to be calculated to increase your income over time. So you can imagine that if you're talking about your retirement income from other sources, it may be beneficial for you to seek out advice on how to also make sure that that income can increase with inflation over time, and what methods that you're going to have to implement to make sure that you can keep up with inflation and not just keep the same purchasing power for 20 years, because obviously that's going to end up giving you a shortcoming on the back end of your retirement.
Well, Carson, I was also surprised to know that the calculation for men and women can be different.
It can be. I don't think a lot of people realize this. If you are fortunate enough to have an annuity inside of your retirement plans, one of the things to make note of if you are a female is that it may be more advantageous for you to keep that annuity within that retirement plan. Because what they're looking at, Andrea, they're going to be utilizing what they call a neutral base calculation, meaning they're going to calculate the same for man and woman. Now, outside of your retirement plan, they will not calculate a neutral base retirement income strategy. They're going to look at women living longer than men, and therefore they may be subjected to giving you a lower payout than what you would be receiving inside of your qualified annuity plan. So that's one of the things that you must consider if you are a female, because the insurance companies know actuarially that you will live longer than me. Your payout on the annuity side of things perhaps will be less than mine. So consider that if you do have an annuity inside of your qualified retirement plan, and if you want to get specialized help with that to make some comparisons, I think that would absolutely be smart.
Now, Carson, your last point may be the most important because it indicates that false assumptions are made.
Yeah, this last point about false assumptions, Andrea, when it comes to that number on your statement, this is probably one of the biggest pet peeves that I have about that particular number, are the false assumptions And that false assumption, Andrea, is basically them indicating that your number is based on the fact that you would take your entire amount of dollars inside of that plan and roll it over into a single lifetime annuity. Now, look, that is not a fiduciary standard, to actually place all of your eggs in one bucket or basket, however you want to look at it. Many people may not want to do that. Some people may want to diversify those funds into other asset classes to get more potential growth on those funds. Maybe they have a more risk tolerance than just placing that money into a income annuity. They might want to buy real estate. There's a lot of things that people may want to do instead of just putting that money into an annuity. Some people may not even like annuities. They may not understand the complexity of annuities. So it goes without saying that if that's the assumption that you're making, that this person is going to take all of this money, this $500,000, this $1 million, and place it into one single annuity, and therefore this is your income payment from that type of transaction, that is a really poor assumption to make, and it's absolutely not a plan. It is simply a product-based assumption, which, as you know, we do not believe in it, right? We believe in trusting the plan, not the product, when it comes to your retirement savings. So keep these things in mind when you're looking at your retirement statement and you're seeing that lifetime income that they're actually estimating for you.
Well, Carson, that was very helpful. So thank you for your insight on this topic, and thank you for watching. And if you felt this information was beneficial for you, please like this video and share with others.
So I really do hope that the information that we shared with you today will give you some better insight into how you might be thinking about calculating your monthly income from your retirement savings. Please understand that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below. Go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.
For more information about this topic or any of the other topics that we've shared in our other videos, please feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions or comments in the section below. After this video, please check out our other videos that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.